when I began meditating many years ago, and I hate to tell you how many, about 35, almost 40 now, and I began to understand that I was living and having my being in a law that I knew nothing about. The law of sowing and reaping, the law of karma. And that was a very important thing that was going on in my world that I didn't know what it meant, how it was going to affect me, and how I could cooperate in my spiritual evolution. As a little girl, I felt that God had a plan for my life, and I didn't know what that plan was, and I wanted so badly to understand it, and I wanted to have some ideas about what it meant to connect with my higher self, God, whatever I wanted to call it, because I was so little I didn't know what to call it. And then I found out that that divine part of me was the essence of not only me, but everybody else on this planet. And I wanted to know how to work in my best interest, to grow spiritually as quickly and fast as I could. But understanding I lived under a law called karma. And how do you play the game of life if you don't know the rules? You know, if you went to play a game of golf and nobody told you what the rules were, you would soon be thinking you're bowling and the highest score wins, when in golf the lowest score wins. So you gotta know the rules of every game. Football, basketball, I don't care. But you are in a game right now called the game of life. And you are playing in that game of life. But you may not know how the rules work. So tonight, I'm going to share with you what I found out, how to work in my soul's best interest and work in the best interest of my family, my friends, and everyone. One of the questions that I had over and over again in my little question box was the question of how to, here it is. You asked it, it's coming your way. It's how do I cooperate with my soul? So many of you ask that question. How do I cooperate with my soul? And then how do I work with my karma? So many ask that question. So this is why I'm teaching it this way tonight, because in answering it, I'm going to give you tools to do this. So here you go. First of all, you've got to understand the game of life. The game board, your life plan. You've all come with a life plan. You are all working right now in that life plan. It is parentheses. I call it parentheses in eternity. You have come in and you have a life plan. That life was planned before you even came into incarnation. It was part of your karmic to come in with the parents you were born with, the brothers and sisters that you have in your life. If you were the only child, or if your family, your mother and father passed away when you were 2 years old. This is all part of the life plan that your soul wanted to experience. And that was really hard for me to swallow. I didn't like that. To think that I came in with two brothers, one older and one younger, that did nothing but tease me and beat me up. And I thought, why on earth do I have these two brothers and I chose them? I cannot believe that I would choose that. And I had to look at my whole life and look at it from a higher viewpoint. If I made all these choices before I came into incarnation, and here I am playing it out, and I have free will in how I want to play the game. You see, you have free will in how you want to play the game. You can be loving and kind and working in your best interest, or you can create more karma. And this is what I found out. I could create more karma by not forgiving, not loving, not being open to embrace what was going on into my life and feeling that I was the victim. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. You have all the power within you to change your life right now, to move in the best interest of your soul. It's part of your inherent understanding. And once I began to understand how to work in the best interest of my soul, I began to fly. I mean fly. I began to move into a greater understanding of not only myself, but all of humanity. Because we're all in this law. If this law prevails on us, then we need to work in the best interest. So the game of life is what you're doing right now.